In other news today, a High Court judge in Makhanda in the Eastern Cape has ordered that the MEC for Education in that province and the Superintendent General of the National Department of Education must come and appear in the court themselves to explain why they have not implemented a court ruling around the building of a particular school. 12 years ago, that's the same year we hosted the Football World Cup, a judge ordered the department to build proper buildings for the Amasango School in the city. But officials have failed to do this. McConnachie is an attorney at the Legal Resources Centre in Makhanda. Cameron, good afternoon to you and thank you for your time. What was the department supposed to do here? Back all the way in 2010, what was the order then?
Thanks, Stephen. There were two parts to the order. One was provide temporary emergency classrooms, and the second part was develop a proper plan and budget it so that proper facilities could be built for the school. It was and still is located in abandoned railway buildings at the side of the railway station, or the no longer in use railway station in Makhanda, completely unsuitable for teaching and learning.
So what happened instead?
Well, the temporary classrooms were provided, but those are already in quite a state of disrepair. There were some attempts by the department to start putting a plan together, and they're not completely to blame because there were difficulties in locating an appropriate site for the new school to be built on. There were also complications where the Department of Public Works had to transfer land into the name, the municipality had to transfer land into the name of the Department of Public Works so that the Department of Education could build on the land. Anyway, there were a number of delays, but ultimately about a year ago, after, I can't tell you how many letters and phone calls, the trail went cold, and it just seemed that there was absolutely no interest in trying to resolve the problem and comply with the court order, which led us to bringing this follow-up application to try and get the order implemented.
So, I mean, even with the best will in the world, it should not take 12 years. I mean, that's the amount of time. A child would have been in grade 1 when they started. They'll be in matric now. It's just madness. So what's happened to the children in the meantime? They're literally being taught in a railway station.
Absolutely. So, and these are children, it's the Amasango Career School. These are children who most come from incredibly difficult backgrounds, difficult homes. Many are in child and youth care facilities. So it really is a case of the forgotten, and they have really had a tough time. It's incredibly sad that the department hasn't been able to get its act together. Having said that, the school is a great school in the sense that it's really tried to keep going as best it can. It's sourced funding from overseas with the thought that it would eventually be given a new school. It's managed to source funding, I think something like 750,000 rand to build a sports field when they finally get their land. But that donation was made something like 10 years ago, and the donor is now definitely wanting to get it back if something doesn't happen soon. So, it's very sad. And obviously, most of the children that were in the school, well, actually all of the children that were in the school when the order was granted, they've now moved on.
Has there been, you said the trail went cold, so the department just hasn't explained itself at all?
Not at all, and it's really incredibly worrying that even when this new application was served on the department, there was no response. We got responses from the legal officer in the department, but all of her attempts to get some sort of a response from any of the officials was met with cold silence. They didn't file a notice of intention to defend the matter, so we pitched up in court, and the judge was, the court was, really surprised and disappointed and probably disgusted, and that's why the order was granted, directing the two officials to appear in court in person. I just wanted to clarify that it's actually not the Superintendent General in the National Department. It's both our Eastern Cape officials. One is the MEC and one is the HOD, or the Superintendent General.
All right. Thank you for the clarification. I appreciate it. So what happens when they arrive in court? Are they going to be put under oath and asked questions by the judge?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's going to be very interesting. I suppose that is what would probably happen. honest, our clients don't really want to see these two officials in court. What they want to see is a plan. So what we're really hoping is that this order is going to hopefully make everyone jump. The officials will make sure that those responsible develop the plan, make sure that the budget is sorted out, and instead of the officials appearing in court, we actually get the paperwork that's going to be hopefully made a further order of court to make sure that the school's built. But yeah, I don't know exactly what the process that will be followed when they do appear, but I would imagine they would be asked to explain under oath why the court order of 2010 hasn't been complied with.
Cameron McConnachie, thank you, an attorney at the Legal Resources Centre. Really appreciate the time. It's an important story. We'll keep an eye on it.